Bueno. Muy bien. Regresamos a lo que es la transmisión de la NASCAR, el de lo que es. Ahora tenemos la bandera verde después de tantos problemas que tuvieron los pilotos que estaban teniendo, tuvimos a Prince, tuvimos a Kevin Briscoe y también tuvimos a otros pilotos teniendo problemas para regresar. Pero ahorita ya vamos en la segunda vuelta de 60. Recordemos, Ryan Prince está líder, seguido de Chase Briscoe y Austin Dillon en tercera posición, Josh Berry cuarta, Elliott está en la sexta. Vamos a ver qué es lo que le va a ocurrir, cómo va a impactar a lo que es a Chase Briscoe en sus carreras. Terminamos lo que es la tercera vuelta. Chase Briscoe toma la delantera haciendo un gran manejo. Estamos viendo aquí, lo podemos ver en la pantalla, podemos ver los resultados y toda la tabla que nos está manejando NASCAR. Es lo que nos aquí tenemos bandera amarilla, tenemos a 6 lo que es la barrera de contención y teniendo problemas, está saltando humo. Tenemos humo por parte de Saint Louis, parece que ha perdido lo que es la parte de la llanta. Ya estamos viendo, estamos todo lo que es la repetición. Saint Smith está cubriendo lo que es a Chase Elliott, lo pierde solo, al parecer tiene una postura antes de que siquiera le toque Chase Elliott y termina golpeando directamente lo que es el vehículo número 38 termina golpeando directamente contra la barra de protección en lo que es la curva 2. Impresionante, qué golpe por parte de Sainz. Vamos a ver si esto no afecta sus competencias. Vamos a ver también si cómo se va a estar manejando. Recordemos, muchos vehículos estuvieron teniendo problemas para poder salir en lo que es la carrera y ahora vamos a entender que esta carrera corta, no van a necesitar muchas oportunidades, momentos de pits, así que también dependerá de cómo es que se lo estará manejando. En la transmisión de Fox Sports está lo que es el ring del auto número 8 en la delantera derecha, llega raspando el auto patrocinado por speedycash.com, así que vamos a ver qué tan rápido pueden hacer lo que es el cambio. Stein también está regresando a lo que es el equipo Track House. No ha tenido muy buenas en el vehículo, pero es muy interesante. Apenas van 3 vueltas de lo que es la carrera. Es una carrera que definirá quiénes van a estar en lo que es la parrilla principal del equipo, que mejor dicho, es la carrera que va a estar de quiénes van a estar en la carrera principal del domingo de las 500 millas. Recordemos que esta carrera es la que marca de lo que es la temporada de NASCAR Cup Series. Mientras tanto, la transmisión de Estados Unidos ya está fuera en cortes comerciales, todavía en Fox Sports 3 no siguen haciendo énfasis en relación a lo que ha ocurrido con el vehículo Saint Smith. Venía bastante interesante, de unas posiciones buenas, tenía la posibilidad incluso de quedarse y ser contendido para en la Daytona 500. Ya le logran poner lo que es la llanta y al parecer ya está haciendo lo que es el pit lane y va a salir en las otras posiciones. El líder, vamos a estar viendo, es el Toyota de Briscoe, mientras que los Force de Josh Berry. Vamos a ver cómo le va a ocurrir a lo que es Toyota, porque están dominando lo que es el vuelo hasta el momento de lo que es la cuarta vuelta. Recordemos, estamos en bandera amarilla debido a una ponchadura por parte de lo que es Saint Smith. El auto 38 termina golpeando lo que es la barra de protección en la curva 2. También en Fox Sports nos están mostrando una imagen por parte de Kyle Busch, donde se ve el tratamiento que le están haciendo precisamente a la curva 2 para poder reiniciar lo que es la carrera. Y nos siguen mostrando, al parecer, no hay un pedazo de debris o de escombro que haya podido romper que fue la llanta del Mustang número 38 de Saint Smith. Así que deberemos entender que probablemente haya sido una ponchadura precisamente por sonido, por lo que fue lo que es por el momento de la pista. Vamos a ver también qué tanto va a afectar en lo que es la dirección de Saint Pete y a ver si logra completar lo que es la carrera. Seguimos en bandera amarilla, gente que todavía no se ha conectado, que ha llegado y les decimos, se dan cuenta, quédense, vamos a estar analizando lo que es la NASCAR en todo lo que son los duelos. Recordemos, tenemos todo el día de hoy, vamos a tener lo que es el duelo número 1, que va a definir una parte de la parrilla de la Daytona 500, y más tarde vamos a tener el segundo duelo que va a estar definiendo, a ser los otros calificados para lo que es la carrera más importante de lo que es la Cup Series. Y tenemos entrada en pits. Nos están mostrando también que la mayoría de los competidores que están entrando a pits para realizar lo que es el cambio de neumáticos y lo que recordemos, como esta es una carrera de 60 vueltas, es una carrera que se puede realizar con muy pocas paradas en pits, se puede realizar con una o con dos. Y al parecer todos los competidores están buscando hacer la parada temprano y tratar de acumular combustible. Esta es una pista larga, esta es una super speedway, no necesitas frenar, no necesitas mantener el freno aplanado en alguna parte para realizar la curva, necesitas simplemente tener el pie en el acelerador y tratar de apoyarte con tus compañeros atrás. Es decir, van a necesitar lo que es el rebufo para poder consumir la menor cantidad de combustible y poder seguir consumiendo sin necesidad de estar haciéndola, tener que bajar de nueva cuenta a los pozos de pits para poder realizar el cambio o el relleno de esto. Seguimos diciendo, gente, por favor, suscríbanse, por favor, compartan, será de muy buena ayuda para todos. Y vamos a estar intentando lo que es el inicio de la 25 de NASCAR Cup Series. Seguimos teniendo entradas en los pits, ahora viene lo que es el red en el auto número 45 y Buma Bolas en el auto número 23. Así que también en Estados Unidos es una parada muy temprana. Se estaría pidiendo que estén dando casi 50 con lo que es combustible y con lo que son esa gasolina que acaban de darles. No, es mucho pedir, vamos a ver si logran llegar la mayoría a lo que es, lo que es el final de esta competencia. Estamos en la vuelta número 7, como están apareciendo los pilotos. Marcan a Josh Berry como líder, seguido de Ty Chase Briscoe, Darrell Wallace. También marcan a lo que es Kyle Busch en el número 5, Dillon número 6, en el auto número 3, en la sexta posición, Chase Elliott, que está en la séptima, en la octava, y el top 10 lo termina cerrando Ryan Priest. la número está subiendo. Vamos a ver qué están haciendo la relación. Los Berries como líder. Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Ty Dillon, Michael McDowell, Ryan Phillips, AJ Allgaier y William Byron. Mientras está saliendo la bandera verde, está ondeando bandera verde para realizar lo que es el reinicio de la carrera, reiniciándose en la vuelta número 8 de 60. Josh sigue en líder, sigue en la línea de líder por parte de afuera, mientras que Chase Briscoe está en la parte interior en la máquina número 19. Siguen teniendo problemas, ya está en la parte de atrás de lo que es la carrera, lo que es el mega óvalo de Daytona, y seguimos llegando a la que es la curva número 3 y curva número 1, lo que es la primera después de lo que fue la bandera amarilla, la primera bandera amarilla de la noche, y Josh Berry se sigue manteniendo de líder en lo que es el duelo número 1 de la NASCAR Cup Series. Vamos a ver cómo se maneja. Así que Sainz está fuera. Sainz se ha quedado fuera. Ha metido el lo que es el garaje después del pequeño toque que ha tenido en lo que fue en lo que es la unión de las 3. Así que será bastante interesante ver qué será. Ya tuvimos el primer caído de la serie, ya tuvimos el primer caído de la temporada. Sainz Smith va a tener que depender de velocidad si es que quiere calificar a la carrera americana. Tanto, seguimos viendo a lo que es la parte de arriba, a Josh Berry de arriba, con un estimado de 96.48, 96 segundos, lo que es realizar la vuelta, bastante rápida, seguido de esta nueva generación que competitivos han sido bastante familiares para los pilotos, para poder realizar mayores movimientos agresivos. También está conociendo lo que es el background en lo que es en esta carrera. Viendo, no, tenemos a Ty Gibbs en la 10ª posición, ha caído bastantes posiciones. Helio Castroneves, más interesantes opciones, está en la posición número 2, ha subido bastante, 7 posiciones, se mantiene hasta el 133 décimas de lo que es la punta, ha llegado a subir a la posición número 8, así que vamos a ver, ya lleva 11 subidas, el que más ha estado subiendo es Jan Smith, en la posición 22, está entrando en lo que es la posición número 4, hasta el momento Chase Elliott está manteniéndose de líder y está manteniendo lo que es el comando en lo que es la vuelta número 11 de 60. Recordemos, ha realizado lo que es una parada en pits bastante fuerte debido al accidente con Sammy Smith. Estamos viendo bastante fuerte lo que es la competición. Están muy pegados. Será ver si no hay una P1 aquí. Recordemos, el Daytona se da mucho que el choque que ningún piloto quiere tener, que ningún piloto quiere sufrir, pero siempre termina ocurriendo y que termina que todos los días poniendo de pie y que también hay que decirlo, han estado algunos pilotos que también lo están terminando y han tenido, incluso han tenido que tener una modificación en el de conducción. Excelente de líder a Josh Berry, tenemos a Justin Haley, a Michael McDowell y a James Smith en la número. Tenemos a James muy al fondo del pelotón, ya casi 2.5 segundos detrás de lo que es el último piloto que está realizando competición. También Ross Chastain está en la posición número 14, también el compañero de Daniel Suárez. Tendremos que ver cómo estará manejando el equipo Trackhouse para poder realizar lo que es la es conseguir que algunos consigue la victoria. Recordemos, son 3 puntos que tienen en esta carrera. Es lo que es Daniel Suárez y también a él Neves en el Project 91. Chase Briscoe está muy lejos de lo que es Ryan Reese, que es la posición número 21. Chase Briscoe está casi a 2.4, 2.5 segundos fuera del paso. Tenemos toque, y se hay bandera amarilla, tenemos bandera amarilla, 66, Chandler Smith, has tenido un choque fuerte y ha reventado toda la parte frontal de su vehículo, el 66 está destrozado de la nariz, y al parecer este no tiene regreso, no va a regresar a la carrera, anótenlo en su lista, ha terminado fuera Chandler Smith, si le apostaron, tristemente no va a terminar, recordemos, si no logra cualificarse por medio del duelo, van a depender de su velocidad para poder estar en la gran carrera americana. También vemos Neves se va fuera. Helio Castro Neves se está yendo hacia el pasto y al parecer su carrera se ha terminado. Helio Castro Neves, una de las ya el pobre, uno de los que esperábamos que tuviera, y se ve la frustración en el auto número patrocinado por Wendy's, Fresh Never Frozen. Qué tristeza por partes, una de las mayores historias que están llegando a lo que es la oportunidad de estar aquí en lo que es la Daytona 500. Tristemente, ellos las Nieves va a terminar retirándose. También tenemos a Chance Smith que se ha terminado de retirar. Nos manejan también que Justin Haley estuvo involucrado en lo que fue Black Step, también Tyler Reddy y lo que es Jelly, que el auto número 44 en este accidente. En este caso, ha estado que fue un 3 Chevrolet que han estado fuera. Nos estamos un día la repetición, choca, se va de frente. Vemos 3 vehículos involucrados. Vemos 3 vehículos involucrados en lo que fue el accidente. Un accidente bastante fuerte y bastante peligroso. Smith termina estrellándose de frente contra lo que es el vehículo. Choca con el auto número 7. Choca precisamente con el auto número 7. Lo choca de frente, toca. Y también vemos que lo que fue a patinar para tratar de no golpear a lo que es Chance Smith después del choque que ha tenido. Es un problema y tiene problemas con la llanta, pero de la curva termina estrechando tal derecha del auto y termina quedando fuera de lo que es el vuelo número 1 en Daytona. Y con esto vamos a ver qué estará ocurriendo con los pilotos. Al parecer ya han salido de sus vehículos, pero de cualquier forma estos van a depender única y exclusivamente de su velocidad para poder calificar a la gran carrera americana. Mientras tanto, las transmisiones están entrando en pausa. Vamos a poner música en lo que esperamos el regreso de las transmisiones. Al parecer están buscando que uno de los vehículos esté incendiándose en lo que es la parte de lo que es el equipo, los vayan, please, que es el llamas, vaya, qué tristeza por parte del piloto. Vamos a ver cómo también con opciones para que recordemos él según la
for Josh Berry, going to cap it off the fuel. Austin Dillon the same. The two cars that haven't had problems on this end of pit road, topping it off with fuel. Chris Wilder.
Fuel only for Bubba Wallace, but again, Justin Allgaier opting for a 4-tire change. He just said, I can't be saving fuel, so they're going to continue to work on it as Justin is down tire change for him. Alan Cavana.
Alan right now is headed to the care center. We'll check in with Alan in a moment as we continue under the caution flag at lap 16 from Daytona International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The Motor Racing Network's podcast offerings are a must. MRN Classic Races, Fears of NASCAR Racing. Go behind the MRN microphones with 50 years the voice of NASCAR. Also check out Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, The Tough Trucks of NASCAR, Junior's Journey, The Many Hats of Jack Roush, Richard Petty, Road to Royalty, and the 1993 season. Listen to these and more on the show's page on MRN.com or on your favorite podcast platform.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney. I'm a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available, or your family are noticing changes. It could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the IDEA.
Saliendo de los fosos, ya se va a parecer a continuar de lo que es la carrera. Aquí vamos a ver un poquito de lo que es el tiempo. Así que
welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. We continue under the caution flag at lap 16. It is the second one of the evening. Cleanup continues. You know, we saw Chase Briscoe bail out of matters early on. He told us earlier that if things got too hot up front, he was just going to ease on out of there and take care of matters. Steve Post, it looks like that he now is taking the opportunity to come to pit road.
Yeah, and the crew around to the right side of that automobile. Chase Briscoe going to get at least right side tires on it again. Just kind of staying out of harm's way is what they want to do. They'll lead the field to green. They don't damage the race car, have to go to a backup. Chase Briscoe goes 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel, 17, 43 laps from the end of it. That's still just a little bit of a stretch, but with fuel savings, they might be able to go to the end. And Chase Briscoe, we'll see what they do as far as the call goes, getting them back up on the speedway.
This has been a wild start to dual race number 1, only 17 laps. So, Rusty Wallace, you've done this for decades. Now you're a driver in dual race number 2. You're witnessing what's going on here. What's going through your mind if you're racing the next one?
They're thinking, what is going on? There's nothing wrong with the racetrack. The track is hooked up. It's nice and cool out. These are just been simply mistakes. These guys have made mistakes. We saw come down on the car below him, jet wreck, and you're just seeing these crazy little things happening. I mean, brake problems on pit road, a car on fire down in turn 1. If I'm the driver in the second duel, I'm just going to say, chill down a little bit, man. I got to get him rhythm. Out there, cause yourself some problems. They got to get that jukey stuff out of them.
Sometimes the driver needs to de-juke. Under the caution flag, there's no doubt about it. Rusty, I think I know what the problem is. It's that big white ball in the sky that's sitting over turn 3 over the Atlantic Ocean right now.
That is it. We got a full moon out there tonight, and every time we get a full moon, there's always some crazy things that happen, and I got a feeling that that's probably what it is.
I don't know what else it could be. This has just been one of those strange type of races from they fired engines, and Chase Elliott pulled his car out of line before they even rolled off the pit lane straight to his pit box. Now, here are some of the other pit road as we get the 1-to-go signal this time by Steve Post. It looks like there may be a car or two coming to pit lane now.
A pit road congestion situation for Chase Briscoe as he brings his car in, and again, we know it was 43 laps, now it's 42 laps. Chase Briscoe, they plugged the fuel in the car, and away they go. So, fuel strategy, a big part of racing here at Daytona, and we're seeing it here in this first dual race.
So as everybody takes the opportunity, or at least those that choose to take the opportunity to come down the pit lane, top off, Alex Mentionfield has gotten the 1-to-go. Work continues, obviously, around the racetrack, making sure we're all squared away, and also work continues on Ty Gibbs' car. He got clipped in the right front after Chandler Smith bounced off the safers coming down the racetrack. Ty tried to take evasive maneuvers and just couldn't do it. So right now they are tending to Ty's car. He is leaving pit road right now as the field is halfway down the back stretch coming to the green flag.
Yeah, and those are the types of things as a race team that just make you sick to your stomach, that you're rolling along having a decent race, minding your own business in the opening laps, and you get swept up in somebody else's mistake, and you know you got a race Sunday in the Daytona 500. You're putting tape all over this race car. You're trying to the chassis bent or any of the suspension pieces bent. This is just a big headache for these teams that have a charter and know that they are in the Daytona 500. Now they got a wrecked race car.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network.
Y termina su carrera en lo que es el pasto, bastante enojado, bastante dado, ya que sabe que esta era una de sus mejores oportunidades para poder calificar.
The NASCAR Cup Series racing at Daytona International Speedway tonight. It's the duel at Daytona. We are in the process of establishing the starting lineup for the 67th Daytona 500. Mike Bagley alongside Alex Hayden, alongside NASCAR Hall of Famer Rusty Wallace as well. Dave Moody is covering the action in turn 2. Kyle Rickey at the stretch. Tim Califemo in turns 3 and 4. Steve Post, Chris Wilner, and Alan Cabana in the pits and in the garage areas. We are wrapping up caution flag number 2 after a multi-car crash. Right now, the safety car is on the pit lane. We are set to throw the green flag at lap 19.
Here they come back to the line. Green flag does the air. It's a Chevrolet Ford front row, a Chevy on the inside, the Ford Mustang Dark Horse top side. That's Josh Berry.
Berry's had a good run here in the early going for Wood Brothers Racing. Outside of the second row, a guy that just a handful of laps ago was a half a lap down to the field. Ross Chastain has rebounded by avoiding trouble, and a good fast car. He's challenging up high.
His inside in that race for third as the field comes up to speed once again. Josh Berry out front, top side of the racetrack. Ross Chastain is there. He looks to the outside for the race lead, but gets back in the line.
But here comes Chase Elliott now downstairs, trying to shuffle his way forward. Elliott now side by side with Chastain for second.
Josh Berry pulls the car to the bottom of the racetrack, side by side for second, after Ross Chastain had some challenges before the green flag flew. He is second. Chase Elliott as well. Both of those drivers lined up behind the race leader.
Elliott fine, and he's got some drafting help from Austin Dillon and A.J. Allmendinger. Back comes Chase Elliott. He'll put a nose up for the lead on the outside.
Josh Berry, though, continues to lead in the outside lane with drafting help from Ross Chastain and William Byron. Front 3 cars in the outside. It's back to Bubba Wallace in fourth. Here comes with a run, challenging Byron for third.
Chase Elliott now will go to third as Josh Berry and Ross Chastain will move from the outside lane and go down to the bottom. Berry, the Ford Mustang, off four.
And he's going to drift to the top side, driving for the legendary Wood Brothers. Celebrating 75 years of racing are the Wood Brothers here in 2025. They won here at Daytona when we ran the Coke Zero Sugar 400 here back in the fall.
You had a good run on that day and having another good run here tonight in the early going. Battle right now. Chase Elliott rebounding in that inside lane. He'll pull even with Ross Chastain.
Side by side from second on back and about a car length behind race leader Josh Berry, who is all by himself at the front of the field. Now side lane in front of Ross Chastain and opens the door for Chase Elliott on the bottom.
Chase Elliott with drafting help. A.J. Allmendinger and Tyler Reddick all on the bottom side of the racetrack. They're still.
Well, right now, Justin Allgaier is doing a great job, and Dale Jr.'s car sitting there running the 11th position on the top of the race. He needs to race himself in, or right now he's staying out of trouble. But that car looks real strong to me, guys. Looks like it's handling well. He just needs to get that baby to the end of the race.
A couple of penalties after that most recent restart. You've got Michael McDowell that's got to do a pass-through for improper lineup on the restart. Ty Dillon, black flagged and penalized for speeding. The field is on the backstretch.
Chase Elliott and Josh Berry side by side, inside and out for the race lead. Outside lane with the advantage. That is Josh Berry with help from Ross Chastain.
Berry with a half a car length advantage. Here comes Chase Elliott on the bottom side of the racetrack. His blue Chevrolet now taking advantage of the corner.
The drivers needing to race their way into the Daytona 500. That's Justin Allgaier, Martin Truex Jr., who is guaranteed in, but he can race in here tonight. If Truex can do that, we'll find out if Allgaier then will fall back on speed. He'll be able to get into the Great American Race. They raced to 1.
Chase Elliott takes sole control of the lead, drifts up the racetrack to throw a block on Josh Berry. Berry gets kicked 3 wide. He's going all the way to the back of the pack.
So Josh Berry bailing out as he'll go to the back of the field after leading this race a lap ago. That gives command of this event to Chase Elliott. Big push from Ross Chastain to the top spot.
Chastain giving Chase Elliott a big shove in the outside lane. Behind Chastain, you've got William Byron, Bubba Wallace, Martin Truex Jr. They're all trying to move forward on the side.
Field comes to the line to complete. That'll leave 36 to go in this opening duel at Daytona. A very aggressive duel at Daytona Race 1. Right now, the lead in the hands of Chase Elliott with Austin Dillon, Ross Chastain, A.J. Allmendinger, and William Byron behind him.
That aggression continues at the front of the pack as they are racing hard all the way back through about the top 15 positions, led by Chase Elliott.
And they're side by side behind Chase for the third time by as they race up the Daytona Super Stretch. To the outside is Ross Chastain. To the inside is Austin Dillon. Then it's A.J. Allmendinger and
on the speedway again. There is debris on the racetrack over in turn number 4. No doubt from one of the damage here and some of the wrecks that we've had in this race tonight. And that'll slow things down just a bit again. 35 laps to go here in dual race number 1. That'll put these drivers in their window now as far as the Sunoco fuel goes to get to the advertised distance.
And hopefully in a position to take a collective breath and maybe hit the reset button, Rusty. I mean, do you agree? This seems like a very, very aggressive dual race number 1.
It's very aggressive, and I was about to say I saw some cars getting out of shape there just a little bit, kind of wagging the tail just a little bit. And generally here at Daytona, around lap 25 to 30 is when the tires start to give up a little bit. And we might have saw that just a little bit, but right there. What I did see, though, was some real fast cars. They looked like they were running, dancing around a bit.
Longest green flag stretch we've had in the 25 laps we've raced has been 7 laps. That's how kind of strange this one has been with the caution flags that have been flying. A couple of wrecks and some of the other issues drivers have had before the drop of the initial green flag. So 35 to go in this one. Chase Elliott, the leader, leads 5 Chevrolets in the top 5. Ross Chastain, Austin Dillon, William Byron, and A.J. Allmendinger. Let's go down to the and Alan Cavana.
And Helio Castroneves is all checked out. Smile on his face, but you're out of this race early. The big wreck was something happened.
Well, actually, one up hitting me, so I ended up hitting the wall pretty hard in turn 2. I don't think the TV caught that, so I broke the rear toe link. I should actually just bring it slowly fast, trying to fix the car, and obviously when I hit the bank, the car just snapped to the right. So, yeah, it's a little bit disappointed because the car is really Project 91. Did an amazing job, and do it unfortunately. But hopefully, you know, not that we wanted to take the provisional, but now so many people are talking about, we will take it, and we'll learn more for the race.
Before that, you sounded happy. It sounded like things were going good. What'd you learn tonight?
Oh my God! You know, there are so many little details that right behind on TV or not being even the grandstand. There's so much going on. It's actually incredible. The way the package is there was a lot to learn, no question about it, because there was a lot of movement in the car, a lot of airflow, a lot of brake checking that you need to be, you know, aware of it. And but as long as you hold steady, it's pretty good. And yeah, so I wish I would have keep it going.
Glad to see he's okay. Helio Castro. Neves will race the Daytona 500 on Sunday.
But to join Justin Haley, Chandler Smith, and Zane Smith, the drivers out of dual race number 1. Well, we were hearing from LEO, 4 drivers came down for service in Allgaier. Chase Briscoe and Jay as we work caution flag number 3.
Looking for a weekly motorsports podcast to stay up to date on what's happening on and off the track? The Motor Racing Network is the place. Hear from NASCAR crew chiefs on MRN Crew Call. All the happenings from regional touring series and local tracks on NASCAR Coast to Coast. Sprint Car Talk on Winged Nation. NASCAR history on MRN Classic Races. And hear from the drivers on NASCAR Live. MRN Podcasts. Available on MRN.com, YouTube, or your favorite platform.
We are under the green flag.
Listen up, NASCAR fans. Now's the time to turn your love of racing into big-time prizes. Because NASCAR Fantasy Live is your fast lane to bragging rights.
Serious racing here.
Pick 5 drivers each week of the season. Then complete additional challenges to stack points. All for your shot at the grand prize.
So let's get this party started.
For official rules and to learn more, visit NASCAR.com/sign up today.
Back at Daytona International Speedway, working caution flag number 3 for debris. We should be back under the green flag shortly. First from Daytona International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Local radio brings people together like never before.
It's a beautiful hometown weekend out there. We've got
your local station. Keep you informed and involved with news and real-time news updates you can trust. We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters, connecting you to what matters most. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress to support your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to STOP.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
You're not going to want to miss tonight's county fair. I'm going to be...
We are your window to your community.
Did you see the last 5 minutes of that football game last night?
Oh man, I saw the whole thing.
And a lifeline to keep you safe when danger is near.
Everybody who is listening as soon as they can, this is one of the biggest...
We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress you depend on your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to STOP.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
La carrera, ahora de que uno de sus más fuertes contendientes se está retirando. También recordemos que todavía tenemos en grandes pilotos como es Chase Elliott.
Back at Daytona, Fielder's got the 1-to-go signal. We're a half a lap from going back under the green flag. Chase Elliott is your leader. Ross Chastain is second. Austin Dillon third. William Byron fourth. Bubba Wallace now up to position number 5. You got A.J. Allmendinger. He'll restart in 6th. Tyler Reddick in 7th. Martin Truex Jr. in 8th. Ryan Preece is 9th. And Kyle Busch is up to position number 10.
Make their way into 31 degrees of banking over in turns 3 and 4 as they begin to bunch up right in front of Tim Catalfamo.
Field is double wide behind the white and blue Chevrolet Corvette pace vehicle. You've got Chase Elliott to the bottom side of the racetrack against the double yellow line. Ross Chastain, who's been trying to march his way forward, he is now on the front row with Elliott for this restart.
See if everyone has taken a collective breath in this very aggressive dual race number 1 here at the World Center of Racing. Pace car headed for the pit lane. Green will come out at lap 28, and that'll leave us with 32 laps to go. Here comes the field into the restart zone. Everybody up to the gearbox together, and it's a dead heat. You've got Chase Elliott leading the lane to the inside. Ross Chastain leads the lane topside as they race their way off the end of the front straightaway.
Up through the gearbox and into the 31-degree banking of turn number 1. Nobody able to get much of an advantage. Front 4 cars have opened up a gap on that third row of A.J. Allmendinger and Bubba Wallace.
Chase Elliott and Ross Chastain at the front of the field. They'll lead those 2 lines off of turn 2 and up the back straightaway with the outside lane advancing. It's Chastain to the point with drafting help from William Byron. Elliott in line in third with help from Austin Dillon.
William Byron gave Ross Chastain a huge shove going down the back straightaway, and now he will push Chastain to a 1-car length lead off turn 4.
Chastain hugs the bottom of the racetrack. I'm going to let the car drift wide now. He'll put the block on the outside lane. That's because William Byron drifted high. He had thoughts of grabbing the lead away, but can't do it as they race back to turn 1.
One moment William Byron was Ross Chastain's best drafting buddy. In the next moment he was trying to take the lead away. That effort continues. He'll put a fender up to the outside. They're going to go wheel to wheel now, inside and out for the lead.
What a run for William Byron off of turn number 2. Steps out of line at the exit and goes to the point with drafting help from Bubba Wallace for the top spot. But here comes Chastain cattling back to the bottom.
Chastain with help from Chase Elliott goes back to lead by half a car length. But here comes William Byron in his bright orange Chevy with drafting help from Bubba Wallace. He'll go back to the lead.
William Byron powering back to the outside, trying to ease out in front in the start-finish line. Here comes Ross Chastain with a fender down low. Bubba Wallace giving William Byron a huge shove through the tri-oval, and that'll shove Byron out into the clean air.
Byron to the number 1 spot has the opportunity to cross over if he chooses to eliminate that possibility. He charges back to the inside.
The door was open, but only briefly for William Byron. Here comes Ross Chastain back to the inside, challenging for the top spot. He has help at his back bumper from Chase Elliott, Austin Dillon, and A.J. Allmendinger. Byron leads.
Byron the leader. Bubba Wallace now in second. In fact, Bubba Wallace will down to the bottom of the racetrack. Byron will block him. Bubba goes up to the top off 4.
Same type of race we've come to expect year after year here racing at Daytona International Speedway. While we have a moment, we want to welcome Michael Stavala, CEO of Suburban Propane, to the broadcast booth.
Great, Alex. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So Suburban Propane has a history of strategic partnerships, so many great things you do. What drew you to NASCAR, and how does this deal fit into your broader vision for in sports and entertainment industry?
Well, is there really a better spectator sport than NASCAR, right? So opportunity for Suburban Propane. We're so honored to have the partnership with NASCAR and Speedway Motorsports. Look, our business is a hyper-local business. We're almost a 100-year-old company, and we are in every rural across this country in 42 states. And our customers truly resonate with the NASCAR brand and our own brand. So I think it's a natural fit for us.
So how will Suburban Propane, NASCAR, and Speedway Motorsports improve the fan experience at race events, both on and off the racetrack?
So propane is such a versatile, and so we're involved in so many aspects, both on track and off the track. So on the track, we're powering the newly acquired players. So we're going to have the opportunity to get the track going and moving again. Behind the scenes, we're providing the propane for the concession stands, and out in the field with the campsites, we're out there giving refills to those that need more propane to help their experience.
That's a big thing you guys are doing now. NASCAR is incorporating powered track drivers. You touched on that just a bit. Propane, an ideal fuel choice for this application, and along with Suburban Propane's committed, I should say, to sustainability.
Well, I'm really proud of NASCAR and Speedway Motorsports for their sustainability. Propane is a really misunderstood energy source. It really is a very clean, but what makes it an important energy source is its versatility. And so thinking about the applications we just talked about here, whether it's on the track, whether it's helping with food, heating equipment, propane, it's a clean energy source. So it's improving the air quality for drivers, for crew members at today's race just by using propane as a clean energy source.
Well, congratulations for hitting the century mark in business, and thank you to you and your entire team for all you're doing for NASCAR racing and keeping all the race fans going and the energy source. We can't thanks.
Thank you, Alex.
Absolutely. That's the CEO of Suburban Propane, Michael Stavala, with us.
Bubba Wallace has just powered his way to the lead by much. Bubba and William Byron have been jostling back and forth. Both drivers have been getting bump drifting assistance, front and back. Everybody basically one lap the inside line will advance. Next time the outside line will advance. However you cut it, Dave, these boys are getting down to business, and no one is being cut any slack right now.
The advantage either way has been a fender, maybe half a car at most. Here comes William Byron down to the bottom. He'll take sole possession of the lead off 2.
Very aggressive racing at the front of the trips up the Daytona Super Stretch. A lap to go. Thought Ross Chastain was going to turn William Byron, and a little bit more contact right now heading in with Bubba Wallace to inch out front topside.
Bubba Wallace has got drafting help in his rear view mirror in the form of Ryan Preece.
Bubba Wallace will get the nose out in front in the Golden Arches. We'll start finish line first here on lap 36, 24 laps to go here in dual race number 1. As a matter of fact, Dave, the outside lane is going to try to break free and clear.
Bubba Wallace has gone with the lead, but it may not last for long. Diving down to the bottom, Ryan Preece move goes from the outside to the bottom. He'll challenge Wallace to the lead.
Byron goes Ryan Preece looking for the race lead up the back straightaway. He leads on the bottom. Bubba Wallace topside, half a car length in hand, side by side through the field into the corner.
Everybody being very aggressive as we wind our way down to the end of this race. It is still side by side at the front of the pack. Downstairs, you've got Preece. Upstairs.
Here they come back to the straightaway on the start-finish line. New challenger up front, Ryan Preece in that Ford Mustang. To the inside of the Toyota Camry and Bubba Wallace. Each driver has equal drafting help lined up behind them in this ongoing point with 23 to go.
Ryan Preece dancing cheek to cheek all the way through turns 1 and 2, inches apart as they race to the back straightaway. Nobody able to get control of the lead.
The field last time by, and a lap later, side by side for the top spot. Bubba Wallace outside lane. Ryan Preece to the bottom with the advantage and a push from William Byron.
Preece now gets out to the lead by about half a car length after a night from William Byron. He'll now back up to Byron, but help from Ross Chastain on the bottom side of the racetrack.
I can't help but watch Justin Allgaier back in that 11th position, his life off to get in this race, and he actually is racing one of the cars, J.J. Yeley. Those two are battling for position to make it into Daytona 500. And Alex right now, that 44 car, J.J. Yeley, is just right on the bumper of Allgaier. Allgaier can't not whatsoever. However, those drivers are the ones that are right now, and they're having to mix it up, Mike, in that draft. And we've seen that could be a precarious thing here in dual race number 1.
Yeah, they've been mixing it up all right, and right now all of the action is at the front of the field. Ryan Preece now will get a good shove from William Byron. He will go out in with Byron in second, and now the stacking out on back as we come back to the line and now have 21 to go in the opening duel.
So here running here at lap number 39, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. The tax season is free phone season with Straight Talk. Get real, unlimited data on reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at Walmart or straighttalk.com.
Ryan Preece is your leader. Bubba Wallace is second. William Byron is third, but Preece not the leader for long. He just got forearm to the middle of the racetrack. Kyle Rickey midway.
Got tight off of turn 2. Ryan Preece caught in the middle and goes to the back of the pack. Byron and Bubba Wallace side by side for the lead.
Bye-bye Ryan Preece. Now it's Byron the leader. Bubba Wallace on the outside lane. His 2311 teammate, that's Tyler Reddick. He's trying to go to the front.
So we'll give you that rundown as they come back down here to the start-finish line. It'll be Bubba Wallace being scored here on lap number 40 as the race leader. Tyler Reddick second. William Byron is third, and Ross Chastain is fourth. Ty Dillon is fifth. Chase Elliott sixth. Kyle Busch goes seventh. Austin Dillon is 8th, Justin Allgaier 9th, and A.J. Allmendinger is 10th.
Is 11th, Mark Truex Jr. is 12th, Ty Gibbs is 13th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is 14th, and Ryan Preece now has fallen all the way back to the 15th position. Josh Berry bailed out. He's in 16th. All 17th. Carson Hocevar is 18th. Chase Briscoe 19th. He's in the garage along with Chandler Smith in 20th. Justin Haley in 21st. Elio Castroneves in 22nd. And Zane Smith, the first car out tonight, only completed 6 laps. He is posted in 23rd.
It's still Bubba Wallace this time by. He's by himself out front, but Dave, they're stacked up double wide behind him.
Yeah, that sole possession of the lead has not lasted long for anybody tonight. Bubba's going going to have to choose which lane to throw a block on because they're 2 by 2 behind it. William Byron at the bottom of the racetrack, top side.
Reddick's second car in that outside lane. Have not heard much from Tyler thus far in this event, but now runs in the second spot, right behind Bubba Wallace, the race leader, with Byron in his inside.
Byron downstairs gets a push from Ross Chastain. He'll draft right up to the back bumper of Bubba Wallace, who now comes off the bottom, or off the top side of the racetrack down to the bottom.
Guys, I remember when I was given my progressive keys to the race early in the race, I talked about staying hooked up, find a partner to race with, trust him, work with them. And boy, he was just doing a great job up front a little bit, and when he got in that center lane, he lost so much momentum, guys. It was unreal. It almost looked it wasn't. He just flew really quickly down the center of the right between those two cars and went straight to the back, and that's what happens when you lose that momentum.
Caution is on the speedway. It is the fourth time of the evening. More debris has been spotted on the racetrack. It comes out at lap 43. We've got 18 laps to go in Dual World Center of Racing.
Do you have an unused car, truck, motorcycle, boat, or RV taking up space? Donating it to the NASCAR Foundation. Proceeds help fund children in our racing community. Your wheels can heal. Call 844-NASCAR-9 and we'll come tow away your vehicle for free. And your gift is tax deductible. Call 844-NASCAR-9. Donate your vehicle to the NASCAR Foundation today. You're in Survive and Thrive.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish. Nimble.
Track.
Innovative, electric.
Lightning Round champions. You guessed all the right Chevy clues. Wherever the year takes you, explore it together. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
We're under caution for a piece of debris. A big piece of metal was spotted towards the end of the day. AMR's safety team has just picked that debris. Too much longer before we resume activities here in the first dual race. From Daytona, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The year the NASCAR Cup Series season kicked off with the Daytona 500.
Dale Jarrett's got the lead. He goes to the inside. Earnhardt's not going to get him. Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500 by STP. Earnhardt second.
The 1993 NASCAR Cup Series season. All the highs and lows. Relive them all on MRN's exclusive podcast, The 1993 Season. Available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
Good morning, guys. I just want to warn you, traffic is tough out there.
We are here
Everybody who is listening needs to take cover as soon as they can.
to provide the music, talk, and sports you love, and to deliver the news that matters to you. We are live and local. America's broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 stop to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Es la competición. Mientras vemos que algunos ya han entrado a los pits, vemos al auto número 77, a lo que son los pozos para poder realizar cambios. También vemos al auto de Martin Truck.
Back at Daytona, a couple of cars that are taking the advantage of this caution flag to come down pit road. We've had Carson Hocevar make a stop. Right now, Josh Berry is on the pit lane. Let's cover the Josh Berry stop.
Josh Berry, his first ride in the first ride for a point race in the historic Wood Brothers car, the number 21, that famous car of NASCAR. And they just made the decision, they're at the back of the field. Let's come down, let's run through a pit stop. They did 4 tires Sunoco race fuel. He was fine on fuel. They had nothing to lose, so why not give the pit crew a chance to do a pit stop? Also allow Josh to come down and get into the pit box and get off from the pit box and see what he did as far as his speed goes up and down pit road. So many agendas here, and if you're at the back of the pack, Miles Stanley, the crew chief, said, let's at least practice and learn something else here tonight. Good the race car is.
Martin Truex Jr. was also on the pit lane for a brief moment. Chris Wilner.
Yeah, and Cole Pern opted to do the exact opposite of what the leaders were going to do, so they brought Martin Truex Jr. down. They actually changed tires as well. Martin came over the radio as the caution came out, and he just said, man, in traffic, this thing just will not handle. Felt a little bit darty. So, again, they're in on speed, so Cole Pern opted to bring the Toyota down, make it a little bit of an adjustment, and put fresh tires on for Martin Truex Jr. to try to see if he can work his way back through the field.
This is the first time that Jr. and Cole Pern have worked together since the season finale in 2009 at Homestead. They finished second, led 113 laps that day. Just think of the magic that they made over racetracks, all the wins they've gotten, but they were never able to capture the Daytona.
No, they have not. As a matter of fact, Martin Truex Jr. has never been able to win on a drafting track in his NASCAR Cup Series career. Westy, what is it about that? Some drivers just seem to have a knack for winning on tracks like this, whether it's Daytona, Talladega, or now Atlanta Motor Speedway, but some drivers just kind of say, you know what, it's on the schedule, I gotta go.
You know what, I wish I could answer that question the right way, because I felt like I had a lot of good rhythm when the intermediate tracks, road courses, but every time I got to Talladega, I was always in a wreck. I have a car that I needed to win the race, or I was loose, I was pushing. I never could get consistent at Daytona and Talladega, and a lot of these guys can do that. Short tracks again, I don't repeat myself, I was fine there. but this place here, I struggled with it, I really did.
By the way, 2019, not 2009. Didn't mean to.
That's true. As we've gotten the one-to-go signal, the drivers have been able to choose what lane they want to restart in. As they'll come back around, there will be 14 laps to go here in dual race number 1. The drivers are poised and ready to go in dual race number 2, and they've just got to be kind of thinking, man, what do we do? Do you go to the competitors and say, hey, look, boys, we need to save our race cars. We need to race hard. Let's save our race cars here.
Well, as Justin Allgaier told us in the open, there's always that one duel where everybody loses their minds, and then there's that other duel that says, you know what, we don't want to look like those guys. Let's go to the Advent Health Care Center in Allen.
And I'm with Chandler Smith, who's been a long time in that care center. Are you a hard hit first and foremost? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm super grateful for everybody in the care center taking the right pressure, not just letting me clear the normal protocol to just walk out the door. They were a little concerned and wanted to take some extra. Everything looked good there, so yeah, I'm grateful that we have that good of an infield care center though.
All right, now let's talk about what happened on the racetrack. You were running up front, you were in great position, a great night until the incident with the 7. What happened?
Yeah, just my digital mirror, I didn't really see that. Couldn't see out of my left side mirror, and just got cleared on the inside and was about to drop down to kind of my spotter said 7's getting ready to start coming inside, and I knew for that opportunity I could start seeing the 2 cars in front of me. It was the 21, I think the 9 start blending bottom, and just made a bad judgment call. Didn't know exactly where they were, and there's a lot of really good torn up race cars tonight for something that was avoidable. So
for Chandler Smith, he won't race in the Daytona 500, taking the blame, but he's okay, guys.
Yeah, that's the good news. He's okay. Meanwhile, Green in the field heads to turn 2.
William Byron on the low side, Bubba Wallace 2x2 for the lead.
With Wallace having drafting help from his teammate and Tyler Reddick in that outside lane. Wallace in second, Reddick make out Wallace the race leader. Reddick and Byron with help from Ross Chastain on the bottom.
2 Chevys working on the bottom of the racetrack. That's Byron and Chastain. 2 Toyotas working well on the top side. That's Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick.
Side by side off the corner. They come back to the start-finish line. Started a run from Martin Truex Jr. towards the tail end of the pack. He and Josh Berry tried to get that 3-wide line formed. Instead, they'll tuck back into double-wide formation as the field goes back to 1.
Everybody 2x2 back through the tail end of the pack right now, front of the field, and no difference for the lead. Byron down low, Wallace up high.
Ross Chastain right there, tucked in the line, third. Second on the bottom, also keeping an eye on his way into the top 8 last time by, and it's just 2 cars ahead of J.J. Gately mid-pack.
Meanwhile, top side, the outside lane starts to shuffle forward a little bit in turn 4. Bubba Wallace, 1 car length advantage over Byron.
2311 Racing has the cars first and second on the outside lane, led by Bubba Wallace. He's got a teammate right there in Tyler Reddick, and then it's car line on the outside. They're trying to shove them even.
Climbing the ladder one rung at a time here, and he is up into that side-by-side battle for position number 3. William Byron on the inside, drafting help from Ross Chastain. Ty Dillon's got drafting help on him.
Break away just a bit at the Bubba Wallace, the leader. Tyler Reddick in second, finds a challenge now to the inside, steps out of line and goes to the bottom.
Ty Dillon now goes to the inside of Tyler Reddick. That's the fight for second, happening behind Bubba Wallace. Wallace goes upstairs, picks up his teammate Tyler Reddick, and leads off 4.
Ty Dillon with those Colleague Racing sales in the win. He's going to lead the end in a side-by-side battle for second. But the story is further. Yaley has gotten around Justin Allgaier. Here comes Allgaier in a three-wide move back around Yaley towards the tail end of the field.
In that high outside line, Josh Berry. He's not going backwards. He'll run into the second groove.
This battle to the top 10. Justin Allgaier to the inside. J.J. Yaley to the outside lane. Both cars moving around Josh Berry a moment ago. Just in front of Michael McDowell.
Those drivers now head into turn 3. Justin Allgaier jumps up to the outside lane, trying to follow in the tire tracks of J.J. Yaley as they work their way off the corner.
Everybody minding their business right now, racing hard. Lower lane still trying to get a little bit more strength in numbers downstairs. As a matter of fact, they got a heck of a run right now. Ty Dillon's taking calling colors to the top.
Wheeling it to the front of the pack is Ty Dillon in his Cup Series return, but it's not a big margin. Half a car length at best in that low lane, and battling back on the outside. Here comes Bubba Wallace.
Bubba Wallace in the outside lane. Ty Dillon to the bottom. Dillon with some drafting help from Chastain. Top side of the racetrack, it is Bubba Wallace showing the way. Half a car length with his teammate just behind him.
Stairs though after a nice shove, courtesy of William Byron. Ty Dillon leads the corner.
Boy, I'm just looking back there, guys, at Allgaier and J.J. Yaley, and I've heard so much radio chatter in the past of drivers saying, "Am I in? Am I in? Have I made it?" And the crew chief, no, just drive your guts out. Right now with 9 laps to go, it's just drive, and let it sort out when this race is over.
Leaders working their way through, that is turns 1 and 2. 8.5 laps remain. They're on the Daytona Superstretch.
Racing at the front of the field and tight racing toward the back of the pack in the Daytona 500. J.J. Yaley, Justin Allgaier there. Side by side for position.
That's the fight to get into the Great American Race. J.J. Lane, Justin Allgaier, following Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on the bottom side.
Funnel up off of turn number 4. 8 laps to go now. Starting position will the drivers with a guaranteed spot start the Daytona 500 in. Then the Dave Moody, who is going to race their way.
1 year ago, J.J. Yaley lost his spot in the Daytona 500 of his duel. He's looking to flip the script here tonight, and he's got a good fast race car to try.
Justin Allgaier with a run off of turn number 2, goes to the outside and tries to take that spot away. Allgaier had help from Josh Berry, but will have to get in line. 1 car length behind Yaley in 3.
And again, this race happening outside of Yaley, committed to staying in the outside lane. Justin Allgaier keeps peeking upstairs. He'll pull even with Yaley.
Allgaier up against the outside wall, coming off the corner, just trying to get the troops rallied. Top side, good news for Allgaier. Truex is ahead of them. Well, that changes. Here's Yaley to the bottom of Truex, and Allgaier's trying to whip around the outside.
Justin Allgaier trying to make it work in that outside lane. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is just to his left elbow. Stenhouse will power him and take a spot in turn 2.
All of us outside of the top 10, and it'll single out for now among some of those open teams trying to make the race here on Sunday with Allgaier, Yaley, Martin Truex Jr. leads that bunch in 3.
As all those drivers get in line, the fight for the top spot continues. Ty Dillon now is pulled even with Bubba Wallace. Those two drivers remain shoulder to shoulder for the race lead.
6 laps to go this time by. Here they come line. Fans getting a little more on the edge of their seats as the laps get fewer. Ty Dillon edges out by a nose again. Bubba Wallace rallies back topside.
It really is a flashback. A decade or more when we'd almost ignore the field and be looking back to the first open cars trying to qualify their way in. But at the front for now, it's still Ty Dillon by a nose.
And with Bubba Wallace to his outside off of turn number 2, side by side through the field, and including with some of those cars trying to race their way in with Martin Truex, Allgaier, and J.J. Yaley.
Those three drivers mixing it up for that transfer spot. Right now, Truex, he's got Justin Allgaier following him behind.
Field coming to the line. There'll be 5 laps to go in this opening duel. Yaley now jumps down to the inside of the racetrack. He is the first open car. He's got 3 cars between himself and Truex. Behind Truex, you've got Allgaier as we continue to shuffle the field.
Justin Allgaier, the odd man out right now for Junior Motorsports. He takes a peek 3 wide to the outside. Nobody goes with him. He'll fall back in line.
And J.J. Yaley's been making some big moves the last couple of laps, pulls that car to the bottom of the race, side-by-side race with Ryan Preece just a moment ago, and tucked in behind Ty Gibbs in turn 3.
J.J. Yaley is 6th in line on the bottom side of the racetrack. Behind him, you've got Martin Truex Jr., about 7th in line on the outside. 8th in line behind Truex is Justin Allgaier.
It is hold your breath time at Daytona International Speedway while watching the transfer position further back. All eyes up front now as Ty Dillon is trying to take Colleague Racing to victory lane and trying to fend off Bubba Wallace in the process.
He has not been able to get very far away from Bubba. As a matter of fact, this is about the biggest lead he's had. He is alone at the front of the pack in the bottom lane. One by Byron.
Only by a car to the for Ty Dillon over William Byron as Dillon goes to the bottom of the ring. Wide open for the 23-11 teammates led by Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick.
Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick trying to move forward, but they are fighting a pack of 4 Chevrolets on the bottom. That's Ty Dillon, Byron Chastain, and Austin Dillon.
And everybody got to remember the top 10 positions pay points towards a year-end championship. These guys are racing for points right now too, and there's guys in get in the day
and make their way back to turn number 1 with 3
on the line with just 3 laps remaining, and the lead just changed hands again. Bubba Ty Dillon storms back to the bottom. Dillon regains the number 1 spot.
Good run in the outside lane for Bubba Wallace though on Ty Dillon, who had the lead off of turn number 2. Now Wallace goes to the front of the point at the end of the Daytona Superstretch. Dillon in a nose-to-nose race for second.
Dillon fighting with Tyler Reddick for the second position. Now here comes Dillon with some drafting help from William Byron. Ty Dillon goes back to the point.
Further back are 3 wide. Yaley on the bottom. Truex in the middle. Justin Allgaier topside. Allgaier getting a shove from Michael McDowell. And it's working. 3 wide from mid-pack on back. We've got 2 laps to go in Daytona.
Justin Allgaier Jr. Chevrolet to the penthouse, trying to make those critical passes for position. The open cars are 3 wide again to the back straightaway.
Martin Truex Jr. in the middle, J.J. Yaley to the inside. Justin Allgaier continues topside. That battle just out of the top 10. Race for the lead belongs to Bubba Wallace at 3.
Wallace the leader, the battle for the transfer spot still remaining hot and heavy. Truex in the middle, Justin Allgaier is upstairs. J.J. Yaley towards the back of the pack.
Down to the line. It's the McDonald's Toyota up front. Bubba Wallace. They are fanning out 2 and 3 wide behind him. White flag is in the air. Now 3 wide for the second spot behind the race leader.
Final time around, and it's all on the line for starting spots in the 500 and for the win. Bubba Wallace dives into the bottom of the racetrack across the nose of Ty Dillon. He'll lead to the back straightaway.
Bubba Wallace leads off of turn number 2, up the back, single out. They are 2 and 3 wide further back. Justin Allgaier looking to raise his way into the top 5. Car in line in the outside lane.
For the final time, they are 3 wide for the second position behind the race leader, Bubba Wallace, who will go down to the bottom of the racetrack and lead the pack for the final time off 4.
Checkered flag is waving. Who's going to get here first? They're 3 wide from second on back. His first to the line. He'll win the first dual race. Bubba Wallace will take the checkered flag. William Byron now will finish in position number 2. Ty Dillon, Ross Chastain, Tyler Reddick rounding out the top 5. And Justin Allgaier has transitioned in to the Daytona, the pit road.
It's pandemonium down here in the Junior Motorsports pit. Kelly Earnhardt Miller hugging her brother Dale Earnhardt Jr., L.W. Miller, crew chief. There are tears, there are screams of joy, and a big hug and a sigh of relief as crew. A round of applause. Dale, you can relax a little bit. You're in the Great American Race.
Gotta give it to Justin right there at the end. He stepped out there and made something happen. We weren't looking too good there for a couple laps, but Greg, this whole team, these guys worked really hard to give him a good car. I believe in the driver, believe in the car. They got the job done tonight, so we get to race on Sunday.
What's more nerve-wracking, watching or being behind the wheel?
All of it, man. This sport's the greatest. Every bit of it.
Congratulations. Dale Earnhardt here with Greg Ives. Greg, congratulations, boy. You're in the Daytona 500. There's a lot of pressure behind this effort, a lot of work that went behind it, but what does this moment mean?
Yeah, it's hard to say. You know, I've been in these moments a lot. You know, the excitement, the emotion. You know, it's been a year since my dad died. Last saw my mom 5 years ago to the day. So it's pretty cool. Dedicated to them and all the hard work that everybody puts in. Thanks to Hendrick Motorsports, Rick Hendrick, for believing in us. We haven't made it easy, but it made it stronger.
Congratulations. The emotions overwhelming here in the Junior Motorsports pit. For the first time, they are in the Daytona 500.
Now here's a look at the top 10 and who will Sunoco. From fueling your favorite to filling up at the pump, Sunoco is trusted to help.
Vamos a manejar esta segunda parte. Al momento que iniciaremos la transmisión con el vuelo número 2. Muchas gracias a la gente que estuvo viendo, la gente que estuvo retirando también. Esperamos que se una para más al rato. Pero que tengan este pequeño momento. Recordemos la tabla de posiciones. Primero, William Byron queda segundo, tercero, Ty Dillon en el auto número 10. Cuarto, se queda Ross Chastain. Quinto, se queda Tyler Reddy. Así que va a ser bastante interesante ver cómo se va a manejar la línea de posiciones. AJ Allmendinger queda sexto, séptimo queda Austin Dillon, octavo, noveno queda Justin Allgaier y Kyle Busch número 10. Chase Elliott tiene una muy buena recuperación, a pesar de haber perdido dos posiciones y haber iniciado en la posición 8 y haber reiniciado en la sexta, en la última bandera amarilla. Había entrado en llamas antes de que había tenido problemas con la rueda interior izquierda, disculpa, había tenido problemas con la rueda, pero logra mantenerse, logra cerrar dentro del top 10, asegurando su posición para poder estar en lo que es la carrera de este domingo. Ty Gibbs termina onceavo termina Michael McDowell, decimotercero Ryan Prince, a pesar de los problemas que estoy experimentando. Josh Berry también termina en la 14ª posición, la 15ª queda Martin Truex Jr., Rick Stenhouse se queda en la posición número 6, KHL va a llevar su máquina a la posición número 17, bastantes puntos, recordemos que había número 23 y logra cerrar en la posición número 17. Carson Corsevar es el último vehículo en competición, inició en la posición número 18, termina en la posición número 18, y los retirados van a ser. Vemos también que Justin Allgaier está avanzando a lo que es la Daytona 500. Bastante interesante en el auto número 40, un auto que no tenía mucho apoyo y mucha gente pensaba que iba a quedar fuera detrás de nombres como Chase Smith, como Helio Castroneves, Zane Smith, Tyler Smith, que estaban siendo un poquito más dominantes, que estaban manteniendo los primeros puntos, pero al parecer la suerte le termina sonriendo a Justin Allgaier en el auto número 49 y termina logrando lo que es la calificación. Nos despedimos, ponemos un poco de música, nos vamos a despedir y regresamos en un momento con los duelos, con el duelo número 2.